चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की। Now, today in Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani Part 2, we are entering into pure devotional service. So keeping in mind all the different categories of our Bhakti Abhas, we have to be humbled. We do not know where we have been struggling, which is exactly applying, which out of 814 different categories we are falling into. But regardless, the last chapter was encouraging us too much. I mean, it's mercy of Lord Krishna. Otherwise, if we are so much rigid in following the methodology, because there are varieties, but because we are in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna Nahi Anya, and because all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are liberated souls, they have been merciful and we have been inducted in disciplic succession from them to pursue the direct process by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, protecting ourselves from becoming, falling by not performing four regulative principles. That is very much important because that gives us guarantee for liberation. And we know pure devotional service starts only after liberation. So we are at least remain mindful, but cannot disregard the information that Shivram Maharaj gave us about very systematically, progression. But somehow or another, this is the shortcut that what we are all fortunate to receive by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and we will be able to enter into pure devotional service. Then all the worries are to be left aside, because that is the promise that even however abominable person, sinful activities he might have performed, but if he has a resolute, faith on Lord Shri Krishna, so name bhakta pranashyati, that bhakti will never become vain. Means the bhakta will be protected by the prophets. That bhakti will be, whatever he has gained, it will be retained as a permanent asset. So on the strength of that, even we will not be so much acquainted with the deep down knowledge of, yet the pure devotional service that is directly offered in ISKCON is the only hope for us to enter into pure devotional service. The instructions are perfect, and let's see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is invoked. Anya vancha, anya puja chari, ज्ञान कर्म आनुकूल्ये सेवनेन्द्रिये Krishnanushalana. A pure devotee must not cherish any desire other than to serve Krishna. He should not offer worship to the demigods or to mundane personalities. He should not cultivate artificial knowledge which is devoid of Krishna consciousness. He should not engage himself in anything other than Krishna conscious activities. One must engage all one's purified senses in the service of the Lord. This is the favorable execution of Krishna conscious activities. This is explained Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 168th verse. Wow, what a straightforward definition. Nothing to be in disguise. So we start with chapter number 6. It's called Pure Devotional Service Defined. When the spiritual opulence of the pure faith awakens in devotees, they surrender to Krishna and revive their eternal legacy, pure devotional service. Captivated by Krishna's promise at the end of Bhagavad Gita, that is 18th chapter 66 verse, Sarvadharmana parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyam mokshayishyami masucha. Devotees throw themselves at the Lord's lotus feet and pray, my dear Lord, lost in the material world, having forgotten you for so many lifetimes, today I surrender to you. Once again, I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. This is the prayer based on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter and 33rd verse. When Krishna hears such a sincere appeal, his heart melts. He is called Bhaktavatsala because of his partiality towards his devotees. Therefore, he can never ignore even the slightest trace of devotion, what to speak of genuine submission to his will. Surrender at Krishna's lotus feet is the milestone in the devotee's sojourn in the material world. The Lord acknowledges this by instilling in them fearlessness in their combat with Maya and by extending to them his infallible shelter. The monkeys led by Hanuman were suspicious of the demon Vibhishan's surrender to Lord Ramchandra, but the eternal king of Ayodhya replied, Sakrad eva prapanno yas tavasmati cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. It is my vow that if a person only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. This is in Ramayana Yuddhakand, 18th chapter, 33rd verse, when Vibhishan surrenders to Lord Ramchandra, and Hanuman was doubtful, and Ramchandra replied to eradicate his doubts. So the material energy is ashamed to stand before Krishna. Therefore, the darkness of Maya or illusion cannot touch the devotee to maintain vows of surrender and bask in rays of the Krishna sun. Unfortunately, the pure faith of the devotee is generally weak when it is new, and they are not always able to maintain their vows. In such cases, even in Krishna's presence, the powerful witch of the desire to enjoy the material world and to liberate oneself from material bondage casts a spell on the heart and obstructs the bliss of devotional service. This is in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, first canto, second chapter, 22nd verse. So those who have weak faith, they have to be protected from the witch Maya, which will entice them to become careless in following four regulative principles. All right. Fully aware of this, Krishna empowers his devotees through suitable instructions to help them withstand Maya's allurement. Inspired by Krishna, devotees purify their hearts by practicing surrender, saturated devotion. Tivra bhakti, saturated devotion. And in time, when but a slight fragrance of pure love appears, attraction for material enjoyment is driven away forever. Of course, Krishna's bestowal of mercy should not be misunderstood as a violation of the devotee's free will. Devotees choose the direction they take in spiritual life by the company they keep. If they choose to associate with Krishna, they progress in pure devotion and become eligible for his mercy. If they choose to associate with Maya, they regress to the service of karma and jnana. Moreover, the strength of, to keep company with Krishna is to resist Maya's temptation comes from chanting and hearing. Devotees who neglect these disciplines invariably become weak. In that weakened condition, unable to resist Maya, they again choose to leave Krishna's service. So somewhere along the line, we must have been affected in the so-called effulgent corner of Mahakalapur, and we fell back. Aruhi akrachena paramapadam tatah patanti adha anadat yushmadangraya. The most essential thing is that we should grip the very, very strong hold at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If our spiritual master has a strong hold of Lord Shri Krishna's lotus feet or Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, Prabhupada, the word itself denotes the one who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. Or Prabhupada also said that it is for those devotees, the Prabhus, who are sincerely trying to follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. They are holding the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada very strong in order to protect themselves from Maya, misunderstanding. Don't dump the responsibilities solely on Srila Prabhupada to take home back to Godhead. No, you also have to take everybody back home, back to Godhead. Ritviks cannot do that. So they don't have firm faith in Srila Prabhupada's Vani, what to speak. They are simply worshipping Prabhupada's plastic vapu, and in the form of Prabhupada, but they will not have any iota of understanding the gradations of devotional service, and they will not, because they will have nobody to demonstrate such a resolve and full faith of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Those who are sent person executioners of Srila Prabhupada's will and the words and the actions, all three should constitute a true follower. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, receiving Krishna's mercy and advancing in devotion then is the matter of free will. But in order to constantly make right choices, all the devotees, be they neophyte, intermediate, or advanced, but especially the neophytes, must not neglect their spiritual practices. With resolute determination, they should quickly move forward to the stage of advanced devotion. From that position, they will rejoice in the mellows of love and feel repulsed by any alternative to pure devotion. So neophytes have to worry. Those who are advancing, that's why these topics will benefit more to those who are advancing and those who have spent enough time and experiences in the service of ISKCON. Come hell or high water, I'll remain steadfast in my vows and my practice surrender to Srila Prabhupada's desire. Yeah. The gusty winds of Maya may indeed toss novices about on the ocean of pure devotion, causing them to slip at times and even to engage in sinful acts. Regardless, such devotees, even though neophytes, are known as pure devotees due to their implicit faith in Krishna's order to abandon selfish religion and to serve him alone. This is Krishna's conclusive opinion. Ajñayaivam gunan doshan mayadishtan api swakan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhajet sa sattamaha. Oh, occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, they can fully understand their qualities and faults and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 11th chapter, 32nd verse, as translated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 8th chapter, 62nd verse, by Srila Prabhupada, of course. On rare occasions, let's understand this particular Agyayaivam gunan doshan mayadishtan api swakan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhajet satya sattama. Who is a purified devotee? First class, sattama. Occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, he can fully understand their qualities and faults. Occupational duties. This instruction doesn't have fault, but our performance in occupational duty, we can find out the qualities and the faults also, and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not satisfied by the initial answers of Ramananda Rai about what is the topmost devotional service. And Varnashram Dharma, that is occupational duties, that was cited by Ramananda Rai. They say, no, ye to bahya, this is external, but it has to be given up also. One should transcend even when you are totally surrendered to Krishna. What the hell occupational duty has to be done? No way. They have been trained, householders are trained how to first and foremost satisfy the Supreme Lord through the guidance of spiritual master and observance of spiritual master in your performance of occupational duties. There must, because that is the maintaining the material world and maintain all the species of life by an ideal action of maintaining all the living entities. Grahastha has the duty. So, of course, that is bahya, but that grahastha, when properly purified, because they will find that, oh, he cannot satisfy anybody and everybody all the time. So such grahastha life is also time-being. Then he has to enter into vanaprastha and then sannyas, or go and preach, means full surrender to Lord Shri Krishna. All our sannyasis must be fully surrendered to Lord Krishna and nobody else. Of course, they can be regulated by their superiors, or they can be regulated under the what you call administrative aspect, but superficially. But they cannot regulate those who are surrender, because they will not violate. They will cooperate, but at the same time, if somebody wants to find out fault with them, they simply tolerate the inconvenience. What else is there? It is extremely important that one has to go through the test of confirmation of his faith. That is actually nishtha. Your faith is verifiable only when you enter into nishtha. So meanwhile, even anarthas may be dangling in front of you, or they may try to entice you, but no, your nishtha means as soon as we get rid of them, the confirmed faith will be established. That is Shraddha Shabdeshu Drada Vishwasa Karanishchay Krishna Bhakti Karile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. That we have to refer. So, such analytical attitude, the devotees who are progressing in the higher taste must be engaged, so he can fully understand their qualities and fault, and then give up completely to render devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 11th chapter, 32nd verse, as translated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 8th chapter, 62nd verse. On a rare occasion, however, an acharya will refer to a neophyte pure devotee as a semblance of a devotee, bhakti abhas, and his effort as service as semblance of devotion. The reason for this is explained later in chapter number 8. Acharya will refer to a neophyte pure devotee as a semblance of a devotee, Bhakti Abhas, and his effort at service as a semblance of devotion. So, even in neophyte devotees, some might have taken up a very resolute faith, and he is gradually progressing. That's okay. But the Acharya will put him in the category of semblance of devotion. And there is a reason. There is a reason. I remember when Srila Prabhupada took initiation from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj in 1938, right before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj passed away, 32 or 36, what? Haribo? What is the initiating date of Srila Prabhupada? Anybody knows? I forgot.
I think it's 33. Because Bhaktisiddhanta left in 36.
36.
Bhaktisiddhanta left in 36.
Okay. So Prabhupada was initiated in 33. Only 3-year gap. All right. And whenever as a householder, he was there, and he has the zeal to preach Krishna consciousness, but he was not successful in his householder duty. When the children grew up, he handed over his business and then retired and took up the full preaching, simply depending on Lord Shri Krishna. What a resolute shelter he has taken, and there was no deviation. Even the Maya elude in so many different ways and obstacles came, but he never deterred. We read this in Prabhupada Lilamritam. But at the same time, there was a little concern in his senior god brothers. They were requesting Bhaktisiddhanta, please give him an engagement. That where should he work? Means, can he join any Gaudiya Math? He was respecting everybody. Prabhupada was respecting even Chaitanya Gaudiya Math and Saraswat Math also, and so many other his senior god brothers are. So, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati replied to them, he will do everything in due course of time. Don't advise me. See, this is the Acharya. In the eyes of those senior devotees, Prabhupada was in a neophyte state. Even though he has good behavior. No. In the eyes of others, they think he is our junior.
There's someone to go and ask money.
Yeah. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj stop any speculation about Srila Prabhupada. He said, don't advise me. He will do everything in due course of time, which it means you are not able to do, that he will do.
Yeah.
That is the nature. Acharyas will not encourage them or put them in the neophyte side. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Srila Prabhupada respected, and he never objected even. But that was the verdict of his spiritual master he depended upon, and that made him so much resolved in his faith you cannot imagine. And Srila Prabhupada did Tivra Bhakti. Okay. So we will see the reason for this kind of, a semblance of devotion in the beginning of a neophyte. The spiritual master, the Acharya, will let it be in the same semblance. Okay. Now, that will be a reason we'll be checking up in chapter number 8. So remind that. Now, Rupa Goswami's definition of pure devotion. In the interval between Krishna's departure and Lord Chaitanya's advent, the science of pure devotion spoken in Bhagavad Gita was almost lost. By the influence of Kali Yuga, forms of the semblance of devotion and worse, fabricated devotion had become synonymous with the ultimate goal of life. Consequently, the general mass of people had no access to the teachings and practices of pure devotional service, and a few souls who did search for it were misled by ignorant and devious advocates of falsity. Yes. You can see the onset of Kali Yuga after Krishna's departure till the 15th century. Means how many 15th century, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented in 15th century and 14 something.
1486.
Right. Now, that is from the Christian calendar.
Yeah.
But from Vedic calendar, you add, more, you add at least 5,000 years.
But it's at least 4.5 because they
4.5. Okay.
Because they're saying Krishna was here 5,000 years ago, more or less.
Okay.
So subtract 500. It's
all right.
4.5 years.
Kali Yuga entered right immediately without wasting time, because he is Krishna's agent, but to samupeti karyat, for the withdrawal of all good characters and then devastate everything, when people will become demoniac. So we see the history. There is no glorious history except after Pandavas retired timely. Where is the glorious history? Lord Buddha has to come because it was inglorious. And that was also 2,500 years. And all the Buddhists became meat eaters and defied the reason for advent of Lord Buddha. And they are one of the, not only atheists, but agnostics. They are so much adamant that they would not accept anything, neither their own origin even. Everybody will become Buddha. So original Buddha, just let him remain in the statue. Austerity cannot be performed while eating meat. Anyway, this is an important thing that we need to understand. So, by the influence of Kali Yuga, forms of the semblance of devotion and worse, fabricated devotion had become synonymous with the ultimate goal of life. And there were a lot of scandals in the terms of devotion. That is recorded in the history. Why the agnostic in Krishna consciousness, do not look the history. To fall down accidentally or by the influence of Maya, that is not the biggest pitfall. Otherwise, Krishna is very strict. No. Krishna is still available. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. Mam ananya bhak can be possible even in a fallen soul. By admittance, he can admit in front of his God brothers and he can step down from the responsibilities. But this is Kali Yuga. And the Ritviks are telling, holier than thou. They will fall off from the height of 700 feet. So, they ye anyer arvindaksha vimuktamaninaha tayyastabhava avishuddha buddhaya aruhya kruchena paramapadam tataha patanti adaha anadad yushmadangraya. Okay? At least we have yet to compete with them in the matter of unflinching faith. Unflinching faith. One who has implicit faith in Guru and Krishna. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasya hi katitha hi arthyaha prakashante mahatmana. What a maya in the terms of money has eluded the Ritviks. Anyway. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again revived that science by his example and precept, yet the only written work directly attributed to him is the 8 verses of Sikshastakam. And because people are no longer able to maintain or follow the oral tradition of disciplic succession, the Lord instructed his confidential disciples to record his bountiful teachings and substantiate them with the references from the revealed scriptures. He especially empowered Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami to write Bhakti scriptures. Kavi Karnapurna records in his history in this way. Kalena Vrindavana Keli Varta Lupte Tiktam Khyapayintum Vishishya Kripamrutena Abhishesha Devas Tatraiva Rupam Cha Sanatanam Cha. In the course of time, the transcendental news of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan was almost lost. To enunciate explicitly those transcendental pastimes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with the nectar of his mercy, empowered Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami to carry out this work in Vrindavan. This is in Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, 9th chapter, 38th verse, by Kavi Karnapur. Rupa Goswami followed Chaitanya's order and wrote the most authoritative guide to pure devotional service, the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Ki Jai, based on a precise definition of pure devotion. He described the distinctive characteristics of pure devotional service in practice, that is sadhana, in ecstasy, that is bhava, and in the love of God, prema. In the following well-known verse, Srila Rupa Goswami introduced his definition of pure devotion with the innovative term Uttama Bhakti, the first class devotional service. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. When the first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. This is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first canto, first chapter, 11th verse. This definition of bhakti is in essence no different from the definitions given in Srimad Bhagavatam and Narad Pancharatra, but its preciseness clarifies lingering misconceptions about devotional service. This says in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 11, 12, 13, and 14 verses, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 170 verse. See, Kapil Dev's instruction on pure devotional service is in alignment in other way around. Rupa Goswami's definition apanyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama, the topmost devotional service, is in alignment with Kapil Dev's instruction to Devahuti. Pure devotion. Moreover, the specific term Srila Rupa Goswami chose, Uttam Bhakti, distinguished Lord Chaitanya's movement from the cheating religions, and that had popularized many impure forms of devotion. See? This is a very good and in-depth observation of Shivram Maharaj, that so many varieties of devotion is existing in India, especially in Gujarat. The sentimental movements, such as Sahajiya, of Radha Vallabhi, and this and that. Now going after Premananda, Are Baba, all these things are no, they are not Uttam Bhakti. So, if we follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement strictly, then all the cheating religions that has popularized many impure forms of devotion will be tackled. Even remaining callous of the instructions of Sikshashtakam and instructions of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to write the Bhakti Shastras, many took it through the influence of Maya, and so many apasampradayas manifested after Panchatattva disappeared. So Thakur Bhaktivinoda comments that just as a person says to a friend, here is some pure water, to distinguish his offering from the contaminated water, so Rupa Goswami welcomed his reader with the words first class devotion, to distinguish it from any type of mixed devotion. And Bhakti Vivek Tattva, Tattva Vivek, I think by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, is chapter 1, page 2. This is quoted. Rupa Goswami calls first class Uttama is also referred to the scripture as exclusive, Kevala, unalloyed, Ananya, untainted, Akinchana, and pure Shuddha. This definition of Uttam Adhikari or Uttam Bhakti is the most important verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It is the Paribhasha Sutra. Paribhasha Sutra. You can simply keep on chewing and chewing, and you will ever get more and more juice. But contaminated, no, the juice will be stopped. So this is the Paribhasha Sutra, the verse on which the rest the correct understanding of the other statements in the book. What do we call in English? Mission statement. Something like that. But that is only used in administration. And but this is the mission statement of Srila Prabhupada. Anya Bilashita Sutram Sunyam Gyan Karmadhanavratam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktiruttama. This is the mission of Sankirtan movement. So more precisely, a Paribhasha Sutra is an unequivocal statement that establishes the theme of a text in which there may be apparently unrelated or even contradictory statements. Srila Jiva Goswami gives an elaborate and fascinating argument to establish that a Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam is the sloka beginning Ete Chansa Kalapunsa Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam. Yes. That has been spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, 28. This is Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam. And remember, we already touched this subject in Laghu Bhagavatamritam of Rupa Goswami. He was centering the whole text on the basis of this Paribhasha Sutra, Ete Chansa Kalapsmunsa, Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam, Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. And he defeated the Ramanuji Vaishnavites who consider Lord Vishnu is the origin. Please give me a break. This is, please read, refer to our Laghu Bhagavatamritam classes. This is the Paribhasha Sutra. In Krishna Sandarbha commentary, Jiva Goswami gives the following definition. A Paribhasha Sutra explains the proper method of understanding a book. It gives the key by which one may understand the true purport of a series of apparently unrelated facts and arguments. This is in Krishna Sandarbha Anuchhed 29th. Jiva Goswami is telling. So, thus, if the direct meaning of a statement seems to contradict the Paribhasha Sutra, then such a statement should be interpreted as such a way that it conforms to the governing theme of the Paribhasha Sutra. This is the logic. If the direct meaning of a statement seems to contradict the Paribhasha Sutra, then such a statement should be interpreted in such a way that it conforms to the governing thing of the Paribhasha Sutra. This is how Rupa Goswami put the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam in relation to all other understandings that is given in other literatures like Puranas and others. Where he extolled Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from whom Narayan and Vishnu forms have come. In a similar sense, one could say that the Krishna conscious movement is based on pure devotion, which Rupa Goswami has clearly defined. Therefore, the many facets of Krishna consciousness in both its practice and distribution must conform to this definition. Whatever we do should link to extol Krishna's Bhagavana Swayam. We do not give up any other definition that are we give up easily, but we cannot give up any other definition if we have to compare it to reconfirm that yes, Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam. So that kind of arguments have been taken by Rupa Goswami to the Shastrakars of Ramanuja Sampradaya also. If the statement or conclusion appear incongruent or opposed to this definition, either they should be adjusted to conform or reject outright. In other words, Vaishnavas must constantly refer to this verse as their mission statement and devotional template. Srila Prabhupada and his predecessors analyze in minute detail the meaning of each word and the phrase of this verse. By doing so, they dispel ignorance about pure devotional service and protect devotees from the influence of the semblance of devotion. This book strives to follow their example and thus serve their purpose. Srila Prabhupada's word-for-word translation and rendition of Rupa Goswami's defining verse is as follows. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavrutam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. Anyabhilasha shunyam, without desire other than those for service of Lord Krishna, or without material desires such as for meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and addiction to intoxicants. Jnana, by knowledge of philosophy of the monist Mayavadis. Karma, by fruitive activities. Adi, by artificially practicing detachment, and by mechanical practice of yoga, and by studying the Sankhya philosophy, and so on. Anavrutam, not covered, anukulyena, favorable, Krishna anushilanam, cultivation of service in relationship to Krishna, bhakti uttama, the first class devotional service. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monistic philosophy, and fruitive actions. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. This is given in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 167th verse. So I would like to stop this because the reader may question the need for studying such a familiar verse in detail. Yes. But I'm suggesting that just like the other paragraph that we were just a day before, that we should print out in big, this should be also printed out.
The Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes. This cardinal Paribhasha Sutra, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, and its explanation. This is called Krishna's consciousness. Protect it. So we stop here, Prabhus. This is interesting, and we should start concentrating on the pure devotion. Anybody has any question or comments?
As Sitaraja Prabhu's commenting on Paribhasa Sutras. It says Bhagavad Gita's Paribhasa Sutra is Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto. And
Sarva Dharmana Parityajya.
yeah, and he says Brahma Samhita says Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda. That's it. There's only problem.
Yeah, this too.
Prasanna, Prasanna.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, please ask my humble obeisance as all Guru Maharaj, you brought up this topic about the Buddhists. You are facing them very much in Siam now, and they're very much also practicing in India. And we only look at the Islamists as problematic to us, but of course the Buddhists themselves are also problematic because they're also very...
By mercy of Muslims, Buddhists came to India, when they were kicked out carefully, Jawaharlal Nehru brought all the Tibetan refugees.
Yes, and they brought the meat with them,
And
including the Dalai Lama.
They were not themselves religionist. Jawaharlal Nehru and others, they are atheist,
Politician. Yeah.
Transformation of Muslims into so-called Hindus, but they were not Hindus even. They were always favorable to Muslims in all circumstances. So Buddhism has been kicked out. Now, time will come eventually.
Yeah. But having said that, we are having many Buddhists visiting us and possibly also picking up becoming Hare Krishnas. So would that be a good sign that we do?
That's why Prabhupada wanted that ISKCON should establish in Thailand, which has already been established. Works are in progress, and we are part of it.
And move the Buddhists and the Islamists into Hare Krishna. There are many Islamists who have become atheists also, Guru Maharaj. And
yes, but at the same time, those from Russia who joined, they were in Islam. Many were Islamist. They also became devotees.
Yeah. So there's opportunity for every one of them trying to target Sanatana Dharma. to target back and bring them into this fold.
Yes, but
into the Hare
Sanatana
Krishna
Dharma
fold.
is in a hodgepodge situation. They do not know.
Yeah.
They will be all ready to define and defeat you and your definition. That is their business.
Yes. The
As
the
if
disunity also.
they are they are running for presidential race. The other some upper sampradayas not in alignment with the parampara, you know. Even Mayavadi paramparas, which started by Adi Shankara, there are so many defections and upsampradayas, you know.
Yes.
So what this is, Kali Yuga is going to take toll on everyone. But even in Kali Yuga, Krishna is so kind and merciful to give us Krishna consciousness through ISKCON.
Yes,
That
Guru
is, so we don't have to worry about this, but we have to always remain mindful, and we have to do what is favorable to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna.
Jai Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Gurudev, at the end,
Shrutidhar.
Suhridam Das from Maharaj, Suhridam Das Maharaj from
Oh,
Rajahmundry.
Suridam Sarvabhutana. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Guru Maharaj, at the end of the class today, you said we stop here and we concentrate on pure devotion. That is a wonderful saying, Guru Maharaj. Concentrate on pure devotion.
We must know what pure devotion entails. And this is the definition, and we have to cling to the meaning that Srila Prabhupada elaborately said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 167th verse. These are very important mission statements. Okay, for ourselves, because we are in that movement. What is this mission statement of the movement? This is it.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Hello. Is Ujjwal Rasagya there?
Not today. She's not there today.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept some humble obeisances. Janeshwadas here.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj, now it's very interesting when we talk about pure devotional service. Now we are, we are very fortunate to be in this Gaudiya Sampradaya of starting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now we also understand there are 4 bona fide Sampradayas. So how is that when we come across other Sampradayas, whether we need to understand their point of view, if they're also following the pure devotional service, or because we are following the Rupanugas, Anya Bilashita Shunyam. So if I have to understand this contrast between the other 3 bona fide Sampradayas to our Sampradaya, if you can explain that, please.
The existence might be there, but in a very weak situation,
Mm.
uh,
Okay.
we see they Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya
Mm.
is the bona fide of the four, right? So
Yes.
others are not engaged into this pure devotional service as such for the purpose of
Mm.
easy availability and the results only when we say, even in our Madhva Sampradaya, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India and he was, defending pure devotional service from the Tattvavadis, Madhva Sampradaya is a Tattvavadi Sampradaya. But how come Madhvendra Puri is one of the topmost example of the following the perfectness of Radha Krishna Leela? Tattvavadi are putting themselves only on Krishna form, no Radha Tattva. And we say that they have been entrapped into a philosophical establishment of Krishna to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are trapped within that. Except they accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but at the same time, through Tattva Vivek. Pure devotion is something else. And we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the 5 cardinal principles to follow. Our target is Srinanda Nandana, Aradhyastanaya Varjendra Nandana Tadhamam Vrindavanam Ramya Kajit Upasana Vrajavadur Vargana Jakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Puranam. All right. And
Yes.
Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Matamidam. This is the instructions. I mean, this is the 5 goals that we have to achieve by worshipping and creating that Vrindavan within our heart. If we are not physically able to go to Vrindavan, but pure devotion can exist and become exemplary. With the with the what you call Paribhasha Sutra, it remains same for everyone. One has to be familiarized with all this in detail and say the transcendence or the pure perfection stage of bhakti by worshipping Lord Shri Krishna.
Yes, good.
Swami Vishveshatirtha of Pejavar Swami Mutt in Udupi. He was one of the best friends of ISKCON. Even though they were Tattvavadis, philosophical strength is there. But at the same time, they are not into prema bhakti. They are not into prema bhakti.
Mm.
Swami Vishweshatirtha said so boldly, only ISKCON has potency to spread all over the world. No other sampradaya can come in between.
Right.
So
Mm.
it is happening. And those who are, purified souls, they will always glorify Srila Prabhupada.
Mm.
Many are getting exposed, but many will be exposed through our pure devotion. That will be obtained through following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada.
Mm. Mm. Very fortunate, those who are coming under this lineage.
All of ISKCON.
Mm. Mm.
When
Mm.
you see ISKCON as a whole, don't see only ISKCON as Melbourne. Okay.
Yeah.
ISKCON as a
Prithvi
whole,
Ache.
yes.
Yes, Prithvi. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prithvi Ache
Of course,
Nagaradika.
you might have limited knowledge, but I'm traveling all over the world
Mm.
and
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
observing that yes, pure devotional service is available.
So do we put the Gaudiya on the top, because we come under Brahma Madhva. Even Madhvas are not, if that is the statement given, that means prominence is
That's
given to
okay,
the.
but it's our linkage.
Mm.
Our linkage is still very much well defined as far as Paribhasha Sutra is concerned.
Mm. Yes, Guru Maharaj. Interesting.
It's not that Paribhasha Sutra has been coming from Brahma to Narad and Narad to Vyasa.
Mm.
Paribhasha Sutra is there, which is hidden in the Shastras. But it is explored according to the time.
Mm. Mm.
And it is to be understood in context with some other sampradaya, just like Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam was Paribhasha Sutra for Bhagavatam, and Rupa Goswami used this in order to distinguish between the worship of Lord Shri Krishna and worship of Lord Vishnu.
Mm. Mm.
But
Mm.
yet we are told to worship Radha Krishna and awe and reverence first. That is Lord Vishnu's worship. Prabhupada said we have to worship them as Lakshmi Narayan. Just to protect. Otherwise, Maya can deviate by becoming obstinate and we are so feeble little souls struggling in sadhana. What to speak of cultivating the confirmed and verifiable faith as nishtha, to get liberated and then enter into the pure devotional service.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, man. Nice. Mm.
This is the most precious gem.
Mm.
theistic philosophy, huh?
Yes, Gurumaharaj. Yes.
Theistic philosophies.
Mhm. But that gives rise to one more question to me, that if you look at our lineage up to all the way to Narada, like you sang that song in Parampara Mellows, that it gives the lineage from Brahma, Narada, from there all the way down to
Right.
Srila Prabhupada. Now we have many acharyas also from Madhva. So because they're the one who carried this,
Right.
and then came to Brahma. So does it mean that the whole path is in the pure? Because Madhvas are Tattvavadis, but later after it become Rupanugas, it becomes
No, from
pure.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu itself, it starts
It
the pure
starts.
devotional
Yes.
service.
Or even Madhavendra Puri, some say.
Yes. And
Madhavendra
Chaitanya
Puri,
Mahaprabhu described Madhavendra Puri. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself. But yet, the principle of Trinadapi Sunichena was the crown jewel and the behavior aspect of following that disciplic succession. You can say Ramchandra Puri, even though direct disciple of Madhavendra Puri,
Madhavendra Puri.
was completely, off the track
Mm.
in Vaishnava behavior. Being, says superior, by age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not say anything. But everybody stopped communicating with him, and ultimately he dwindled down and disappeared. We don't have to do anything. We do not have to have correctional unit. What we will have to do, apani acharite sikhailo bhagavad dharma. If you want to inspire somebody, then you behave in such a way that he will get inspiration from you.
Yes, Kumar. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kumar. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anything else? Discussion? Prabhus?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to
Prabhupada.
Maharaj, just continuing on what Janeshwar Prabhu was saying with regard to the other Vaishnava paramparas, we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu picked up two principles each from each of the four paramparas. And for example, from the Sri Sampradaya, the principle was that like Ananya Bhakti, which means exactly
And the
like
philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva from Sri Sampradaya.
Yeah, that in terms of principles, it says devotion devoid of jnana and karma and service to the Vaishnavas. So these two were from the Vaishnavas. So I'm just trying to understand then in that one where it says, which is the same thing Rupa Goswami is also saying in terms of definition of pure bhakti. I totally agree from what you're saying, that the preaching mission and the aspect of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not present. They have more of the Aishwarya Bhav of serving Lakshmi Narayan. That's what they have. But how do we understand that these principles, which are all coming, which are actually core to our what to say, Gaudiya philosophy, which is actually coming from all these other authorized sampradayas?
Yes. The point is that there are behavioral aspects and practicable aspects of that promote us to total surrender to Lord Shri Krishna.
Okay.
From Nimbark Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took worship of Radharani.
Yes. From Nimbarka Sampradaya, we have exclusive shelter of Srimati Radhika and the mood of the gopis, two things that come from. Nimbarka Sampradaya.
Vaishnav means Vaishnav, whether he is a Ramanuja Vaishnav or Rudra Sampradaya Vaishnav or Kumar Sampradaya Vaishnav. Vaishnav is a Vaishnav. Okay. Vaishnaver Jatir Buddhi Narki. We are not exclusive Vaishnavas. Those who are even neophyte Vaishnava, they have to be respected too. Because it's very rare to Vishnu Aradhyate Sapantha iti Vaishnava. Anybody who is worshipping even in ignorance is a Vaishnava. One who chants the holy name according to Haridas Thakur of Krishna, he has to be respected. We cannot despise him. We may encourage him, we may boost his devotional service further. Yes, that's okay. But by only showing our humility, even to those who are not knowledgeable, even to those who are not knowledgeable of any damn thing, but they are inquisitive. Na buddhivedam janeda jnanam karma sanginam, those who are karmis. Joshayet sarva karmani mukta sangam samacharet. Mukta sangha, the one who is liberated, one who is advanced, one who is preacher, he has to act in such a way to teach him that he may be able to practice. It's easy. Prabhu, when you cook, don't cook for yourself only. First cook for Krishna, offer to him, and then you consume. This is the right process. You feed them prasadam, and their brain tissues will be capable to understand that offering everything, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tad bhaktim apahrutam ashnami prayatatmanah. Krishna is accepting. So, those who distinguish from one Vaishnava from the other Vaishnava, that is Jatir Buddhi, that it is hellish mentality.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Anything else, Prabhus?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I have two questions. So the first question refers to the verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that we mentioned today, and they said that we have to be free from all material desires. And the question is how to reach this stage to be free of all material desires.
You can utilize all material desires in service of Krishna. So you will become free for yourself. Is it not?
Okay, yes, thank you.
Divert or dovetail your desires in favorable service of Krishna, one which is favorable. Anukullena anushilanam. You have a desire to eat, and Krishna also says, I have desire to eat. So that is common. But do it for Krishna.
Okay. And the second question is, so it says that we have to worship Radha and Krishna in the mode of Lakshmi Narayana. And what does it mean to worship it in
It
the
means
mode of
we have
Lakshmi
to
Narayana?
worship and awe and reverence. We cannot worship with bhav of fraternity. No, awe and reverence is the first and foremost. Because that worship is the initial aspect to become attached to the form, transcendental form of Lord Krishna with awe and reverence. Because you do not understand the transcendence emanating from the deities. But by worshipping with your awe and reverence, you invoke that gratitude by serving them. Awe and reverence. Because Krishna is always amazing. The transcendental nature is amazing. And because it's superior in nature, you have to put your reverential attitude towards it. So awe and reverence means this should be the guna in a devotee essential. That you become so much respectful to the deities. Awe and reverence also can let you enter into the spontaneous devotional service. Or not. But that is the
Yes, of course.
pre-qualification. It's a qualifying status. Unless and until we know awe and reverence, we cannot further anyway.
Okay, thank you very much.
Harbol.
Alakananda. Alakananda.
Haribol. That's it. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.